Good evening, live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. Here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. But first, the headlines. Seeking to limit spreading of COVID-19, study is suspended in all educational institutions in the Sultanate from tomorrow, Sunday, for 1 month. The GCC health ministers review readiness of health sectors to face COVID-19 and discuss preventive measures to limit its spread. COVID-19 infected cases increase globally and world states take precautionary measures to fight the virus. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Based on the data and epidemiological indicators for COVID-19 locally and globally, and within the classification of the World Health Organization for this disease as global pandemic, the Supreme Committee to deal with the virus developments reviewed all data and indicators and decided to suspend studies at all educational institutions in the Sultanate for 1 month, starting from tomorrow, Sunday, March 15th, 2020. The committee, which is in constant sessions, calls upon parents to keep their children home during this classes suspension period. The committee also calls everyone not to attend any public gatherings and adhere to the requirements of prevention at the individuals and society level. May Almighty Allah protect everyone from any harm. Based on the decision of the Supreme Committee dealing with COVID-19 developments to suspend studies for 1 month starting from tomorrow, Sunday, 15th of March, the Minister of Education clarified that the decision of suspending classes also included the members of teaching and administrative staff, except those who are required to work in some assigned positions during the period of studies suspension. Since the virus first emerged in late December, more than 143,400 cases have been recorded in 135 countries and territories. The death toll tally stood at 5,402 before Iran announced 97 new virus deaths, taking its own fatalities tally to 611. The worst affected countries in terms of fatalities are mainland China with 3,176 deaths, Italy with 1,266 deaths, and 611 in Iran. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said the government would review its approach after he faced criticisms for a light touch approach on large gatherings. Russia joined a growing host of countries closing their borders, shutting its frontiers with Poland and Norway to foreigners. Moscow had already declared it is sharply to reduce air links with 27 nations European Union from Monday. South Africa repatriated dozens of its citizens from Wuhan, the first such move by sub-Saharan country. The 146 South Africans were working and studying in Wuhan city, which was placed under lockdown for around 2 months after the novel virus was first detected in December. Ecuador announced its first death from the virus a day after Bolivia, Venezuela, Paraguay and Peru suspended European flights and Argentina suspended links with the most badly affected countries. President Donald Trump declared a U.S. national emergency over the quickly spreading coronavirus yesterday, opening the door to more government aid to combat a pathogen that has infected more than 138,000 people worldwide and left over 5,000 dead. The impact of the coronavirus on everyday life deepened around the world. It was detected from the first time in several countries, with the World Health Organization (WHO) calling Europe the pandemic's current epicenter. Trump said in remarks at the White House Rose Garden that to unleash the full power of the federal government to this effort, he is officially declaring a national emergency. The latest steps came 2 days after Trump announced travel restrictions blocking U.S. entry for most people from continental Europe. While Britain was among the countries exempted, Trump said yesterday that it might change because infections there had risen. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and yet to come in our news bulletin, the Omani Equestrian Federation conclude its activities of the season. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The overall state's revenues receded by 4.9% by the end of December 2019 and amounted to 10.411 billion Omani Riyals compared to 10.949 billion and 600,000 Omani Riyals at the end of the year 2018. The overall expenditure as of the end of the last year decreased by 3.9%, amounting to 13.63 billion Omani Riyals compared to 13.599 billion Omani Riyals by the end of year 2018, as per the initial statistics released by the National Center for Statistics and Information. Through video communications, for the first time, Their Excellencies the Ministers of Health of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries today conducted an emergency meeting to discuss the developments of COVID-19. More details in the following report.
لأنه أول يوم تم الإعلان أوقفنا كل الرحلات.
An emergency meeting to discuss the development of COVID-19 virus through video communication for the first time was held between the Ministers of Health in the GCC countries. The meeting reviewed the current status of COVID-19 virus in each country of the Cooperation Council, the mechanism for dealing with the Gulf citizens in the affected places and between the countries of the Council, the mechanism for coordination between countries, and the importance of identifying a liaison officer to facilitate the transfer of information. The ministers also reviewed the future plan to combat the spread of this virus, the procedures followed in the outlets and statistics related to the virus, health sector preparedness, media plans, community awareness and emergency plans, and the role of the Health Coordination Council with the Ministries of Health in this regard. His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed bin Ubaid Al-Saidi, Minister of Health, in his statement during which he reviewed the current situation of the diseases in the Sultanate, the number of recorded cases and the measures taken by the Sultanate to combat this disease. His Excellency pointed out that among the most prominent measures taken by the Sultanate in this field was the decision issued by His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq Al Said, Sultan of Oman, may God protect and preserve him, to form a Supreme Committee in charge of researching a mechanism to deal with the development resulting from the spread of the COVID. The Minister of Health of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries value the tremendous efforts made by health sector's affiliates in the GCC countries and their tangible contributions to curbing the spread of the COVID virus. The overall credits in Oman's commercial banks reached 21.855 billion Omani Riyals during the fourth quarter of the last year compared to 21.489 billion Omani Riyals in the year 2018, showing an increase by 1.7%. The Central Bank of Oman stated that the personal loan sector gained 8.3547 billion Omani Riyals, comprising of 39.1% of the total bank credits during the fourth quarter of last year. The Export Credit Guarantee Agency of Oman Credit Oman approved credit ceilings of a total value of more than 2.2 million Omani Riyals in January and February 2020. The value of credit ceilings approved under the Export Credit Guarantee Policy reached more than 1.26 million Omani Riyals for 26 exporters from the Sultanate and to the countries of the world. The share of applications for credit ceilings under the Domestic Credit Guarantee Policy amounted to 950,000 Omani Riyals for 27 local sellers from the inside the Sultanate to a local buyer. The credit ceilings are diversified in a variety of sectors that include building materials, iron, consumer goods, plastics, petrochemicals, agricultural and fisheries sectors, in addition to various sectors of all kinds listed in the primary industries, raw materials and others. Oman Equestrian Federation concluded horse dancing competition or horse racing for this season after holding 4 matches with 39 horses participating in 4 categories for this event from government units and private stables. Horse dancing art requires finesse from the rider and a strong determination from the trainer to be able to carry out the dancing and difficult stunts. Mr. Jamal Asheriani won the first rank for the open category, while Mr. Madian Al-Yusufi ranked first in the medium category. In the newcomer category, Mr. Majid Al-Yusufi snatched the first rank, while Ms. Muthaina Al-Ma'mariya was announced a champion for the ladies category. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and now, to end this news bulletin, here are main points once again. Seeking to limit spreading of COVID-19, studies suspend in all educational institutions in the Sultanate from tomorrow Sunday for 1 month. The GCC health ministers review readiness of health sectors to face COVID-19 and discuss preventive measures to limit its spread. And COVID-19 infected cases increase globally, and world states take precautionary measures to fight the virus. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Stay healthy.